Hey guys, wanted to run through a newsprint rendering technique with you today, and I want to start from square one just to really set the context here, and sped up the video so that you can use it as a reference, but I don't want to take up a ton of time here. I just want to set the context a little bit. I'm establishing a horizon line and the environment that all of our objects exist inside of, right? We have the sky and the ground. Generally, I established a light source, and in this case, I positioned the sun kind of low in the sky, and everything below the horizon is ground. So let's imagine it's kind of reflecting on a curved mirror per se. And what this is going to do is establish, okay, the sun is there, and it's pointing down at the surface, and it's going to reflect in all the different directions depending on the curvature of the surface. So anything pointing up towards the sky will reflect the sky. It will reflect the sunlight and whatever the environment above the horizon is. And as you work your way down on this curved surface, it'll eventually point towards the horizon and down towards the ground. So whatever is from the horizon line down will be reflecting off of that shape at that point. So I want to take that and elaborate on it a little bit more in a more three-dimensional way. So here I'm drawing a cylinder, and we'll call it a chrome cylinder, pointing towards the horizon. We're kind of looking down at it at a kind of aerial view. So essentially what I just quickly drew there was the reflection of the horizon line kind of down on the lower side there on the inflection of the curved surface. So if you look at the section, it's kind of this cylindrical section. So anything that points outward is the horizon line there, the kind of peak of the belly, let's say. And then anything pointing down will be facing the ground and showing a darker ground color. And anything kind of pointing, reflecting up is going to reflect the sky, whatever the condition of the sky is. So I'm gathering my materials here in preparation for the rendering. So I'm going to have a brush with for the gouache, for the hot spots in the gouache, and a set of markers. In this particular case, I've got cool grays and 100 black, and rebro pads so that you can blend a little bit of the pastels, and you'll be using that X-Acto blade to shave off some fine dust from the pastel to load up the rebro pad. And then this little cap of water here to keep the brush clean. So it should be pretty straightforward. Before I get into the full-on rendering here, I just wanted to show you guys a quick little vignette of a body side where I'm going to apply a lot of those things that I've been demonstrating for you on the cylinder, and kind of treating the body side as if it were a reflective chrome shape, okay? So I start off with like a lighter marker just to build the base of what would be reflecting underneath the horizon line, the ground per se, and then the hard shadow underneath the vehicle just to make the body side kind of pop off the page a little bit. I generally, in these marker renderings on newsprint, I tend to just do a complete full-on black for the shadow. The nice thing is you can always add values. So then I start going back in with a little bit of a darker gray marker for that really dark portion of the horizon where it's right where it meets the sky essentially. And then it slowly fades to light as you get that ground reflection. Because the ground is never fully black, right? The ground is, let's say it's a desert or something, it reflects light from the sky onto the body side of the vehicle. So that's where you get a little bit of that kind of range in light. Apologies for the whining dog that wants to go for a walk. So I take the pastel and I shave off a little bit of pastel dust here so that I can load up the Weebro pad and start to blast in some of those cores. Because again, similar to the ground isn't always black, right? The ground is kind of a brownish color and it can reflect some light onto the body side. And the same thing goes for the sky. The sky isn't just bright white or bright light. If you look up at the sky, oftentimes there's kind of darker blue portions of the sky, depending on where the sunlight is coming from, right? So what I'm doing here with the Weebro pad is I'm sort of showing what the very top of the sky that may be a little bit dark would have some dark light to it. And then I'll attach some imagery to the assignment for this. But that hotspot that I'm adding with the bright Weebro pad, or sorry, with the bright white pastel is actually, you know, where my light source is coming from. So let's say my light source is coming from above my right shoulder here as you're facing the vehicle, and create a little bit of a hot spot with the gouache here. So that's what you see on the shoulder there of the vehicle. So trying to really show a lot of curvature at the shoulder of the vehicle. So as I slowly build this, I'm going to go back in with some of the pencil to really tighten things up a little bit. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the black pastel so that I can give a little bit of a smoother transition on the bottom of the body side. This is super crude, super quick, just to show you the techniques that I'm going to be using on the full-on render. And when I want to create a sharp edge where I take the Weebro pad and have a little bit of a fading, I prefer to use a piece of paper to kind of mask off the parts of the paper that I want to keep clean. That's pretty important because it can get away from you pretty quickly, where you see that dusty pastel can start to get everywhere, and the drawing becomes muddy pretty quickly if you're not careful. What I'm showing you here, the only reason I shaved off the pastel on the sheet directly like this was just to show you how I do it, but I would typically shave that pastel off on a secondary piece of paper off to the side, not on the drawing, because my goal is going to be to keep the drawing as clean as I can keep it when I'm working on it. But again, this is just for the purposes of showing you some of this technique. So going forward here, you'll see me kind of refine this vignette a little bit, and some of those details will start to come out.